It's funny. Inflation is not theft. I often say inflation is theft for that very reason you gave. That the
But so the inflation example, so the theft is, or the aggression is, so theft is just a type of aggression. The aggression with inflation is the government
the
monopolizing the
central
monetary
bank,
system, and
right?
that lets them create an effect that's um, similar to actual theft. I mean, like, it's just from the government's point of view, they're a criminal. They don't care where they commit their aggression. If there's physical hard money like gold and silver, then when the king forces you to turn some of it in, that's actually theft. Or if
Mm-hmm.
they clip the coins, that's theft, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they switch to a digital fiat system like we have now, then they can just print it and do the same thing economically to you. But the aggression is not in the printing. The aggression is in the laws that prevent you from escaping that system.
The
So
monopolization.
the
Yeah.
monopolization.
Yeah.
So, but just as in the IP case, there can be greater damages from stealing a valuable piece of matter as opposed to a blank sheet of paper. Um, when the government commits that type of aggression, it's just like if the government monopolized the money system and they have a sound money system, there's almost no damages, like if they
Right.
didn't
Right.
inflate
Right.
at all. But
Right.
if they inflate, now they're causing damages to the people, which you could, so there's no problem with calling it theft, because as long as you keep in mind that the theft is back in the chain of causation a little bit earlier,
Right.
or it's really a different type of aggression, but it's still the same effect as theft. And so you could measure it the same way.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. And then when I do define it, because obviously inflation's a nebulous term too. So I always define inflation as the arbitrary expansion of a fiat currency supply under the
Correct.
protection of a legal monopoly, right? So that
Well,
whole,
it's not just, I mean, it's not just arbitrary. I mean, if you want to be technical, inflation is inflation of the money supply. It's not arbitrary. It's just any expansion of the money supply is inflationary,
mm,
which means that even in a private society where there's gold and gold is mined,
mm.
my personal view is when gold is mined, that's inflationary.
But
Okay.
the difference is there's cost to mining the gold. There's not cost
Well,
to
that's one difference. The other difference
expand.
is there's no coercion. Like, there's no
Mm,
one's forcing people to accept this gold standard. They're doing it because it's the best thing available
right,
until Bitcoin came along.
right, right, right,
Right.
right. Yeah,
So I think my personal view is, when people say Bitcoin, unlike gold, Bitcoin doesn't have any intrinsic value and there's nothing backing up your money. It's like, well, first of all, there's nothing backing up any money, because even if gold is money, it's got a monetary premium, probably 10 times the non-monetary value of the gold. So if whatever you're using as money stops being used as money, you're going to lose 90% of your savings anyway.
right.
Uh, so there, it's literally impossible to have a money that is backed by anything, because whatever's money is always going to have a monetary premium, and that monetary premium could evaporate if it stops being used as money. But anything that does have a non-monetary use is imperfect as money, because I mean, it still might be better than having no money. Like,
Right.
having gold, even though it's imperfect, is better than having a barter society, obviously. But
Yes.
it'd be, the ideal money would be one that has no non-monetary use, because when you have gold, then you're wasting resources getting gold just for monetary use. You're diverting the ornamental and the industrial uses of gold into money. Right. And also it causes, I think, when the new gold is mined, it leads to a redistribution of wealth, and it leads to inflation, price inflation,
Yeah.
relative price inflation. Now that's a small price is worth paying to avoid a barter system. But if we can have one that doesn't have that, which is what Bitcoin is, then that's why it's even better in my view.
Yeah, agreed. I've often called Bitcoin the first pure money, right? Everything else
Correct.
has been impure to the extent that it's used for industrial or ornamental purposes.
Yeah, it's 100% monetary premium instead of
Yes,
90% monetary premium.
exactly.